where they belong. Limerick has produced superstars on the world stage, from Mick Mackey to Paul O'Connell and Andy Lee, Terry Wogan to Bill Whelan and Riverdance, from Dolores O'Riordan to Richard Harris. Galway can claim Peter O'Toole, Dolores Kane, the Aran Islands to Galway Races, the Claddagh Ring, Ed Sheeran busking, Ayr Square and the All-Ireland Hurling Final of 2018. Two counties, two cultures colliding on the third Sunday in August. Limerick won the toss. Down fires Aaron Gallan, making a bit of space. Half block, ball comes in far as the goalkeeper, and the ball trickles out over the end line.
Marty, I think from Limerick's point of view, they'd be delighted to see that first ball into Gallan. I think it was Gerard Hegarty ran past him and stopped him from putting it over the bar. He blocked him.
Puck out from James Skell, comes first Joe Canning. He lets fly, but it's gone to the right and wide. First two shots at goal, indicating a little bit of nervousness, I'm sure. Both balls going wide.
Yeah, and I see Dahi Burke now has picked up Aaron Gallan. He's got Gallan is in and around full forward, and Dahi Burke is on him with Seamus Flanagan out and John Hambury.
Ball comes out straight for Tom Morrissey. Has a go from way out the field, and that's also wide. And they just need to calm down.
Yeah, but it's the early nerves. They're going to find that in the All-Ireland final. Bad miss by Joe, and another one there by Tom Morrissey.
James Scahill lanes the puck out over the far side. David Burt, the captain from St. Thomas's Gallasid, gives it back for his Pádraig Mannion. Pádraig about to be challenged. Forwards doing their work. Has to release the ball under pressure, and the free has been given. Delayed too long.
Yeah, and Marty, all year Graham Mulcahy, he's been scoring freely, but he's tackling, he's work rate. He made a 30-yard run there to close down Pádraig Mannion, and referee Judge overcarried it, and a free in now for a difficult one, I suppose, for Aaron Gallan, a free taker. People say they're only free, he's scoring from frees, but every free in the Ireland final is a hard free. I look at the little short hurl that he uses. I think it's only 31 inches or something like that. Very, very short hurl to get that sort of tower that he has.
First opportunity for Aaron Gallan. Patrick's well man. Under 21 hurler of the year, 2017. It's a long way out. This to settle the nerves. Put Limerick on the journey. And the ball is wide. That's 3 wides in the opening, well, almost 2 minutes. Short puck out again, and James Scahill. Timber Burns intercepts. Keane Lynch was looking for it. They're going the direct route. Good ball, good hands. Aaron Gallan again showing for it, just can't control it. He has it now, being pursued by Adrian Toohey. Patrick's well got it back. And Patrick's well, and Limerick are on the way. The opening score after 2.5 minutes.
And look at the ball from Dermot Burns. Again into space, into Gallan, looking up. And that's a huge change in Limerick this year. That half-back line not shooting aimlessly. And a lovely point by Gallan.
Long puck out again from James Scahill. Galway, in their previous games against Clare, usually started well in the first half, but Limerick are beginning to settle. Dermot Burns lets fly from inside his own half of the field. And that's the 4th wide of the game for Limerick, just 3 minutes gone.
Yeah, dominating the game. I just said a minute ago, Limerick had eliminated that. A long range shot there from Dermot Burns, the wrong option. He was on his own, but poor wide again.
Limerick not pushing up on the short puck outs. Adrian Toohey from Beha in South Galway dispossessed. It's Kyle Hayes. He has options left and right, uses the short grip, and Kyle Hayes puts his name on the score sheet. It's a good start by Limerick. They were a little bit nervous at the beginning, but they're beginning to rock and roll here.
Yeah, and Galway seem to be unsure with their puck-outs. They've taken 2 short ones and delayed with them coming out first. And they saw Toohey losing the ball there. Great interception by Hayes and a simple point.
Ball is aimed at Joseph Cooney. Keane Lynch is there. Little flick forward. Confident play by the youngster from the West. Ball in towards Graham Mulcahy. Comes across from top of the right to top of the left. He's making an angle for himself. Hops the ball, tries to hop it on the surface. Galway defenders are there in numbers and they come away with it. Pass goes astray. Keane Lynch between the 45 and 65 lets fly. He was under pressure as he was hitting the slither, and the ball is again to the wrong side of the post. 5 wides for Limerick, and they have 5 minutes played. Carl Mannion to the brother, Pádraig. And it's Galway's 2nd wide of the game.
Some change, Marty, for Galway. They've started all their games, as you said, the last 3 games outscoring their opponents, going 8 and 9 points up, and very unsettled, and they look the more nervous team, and Limerick have hit the ground flying.
Nicky Quaid aiming for Gerard Hegarty. Ball comes available. Nice pick up, Gerard Hegarty. Good hands laying it off to Graham Mulcahy to over the bar. St. Patrick's in the city to Kilmallock out in the county.
Look, an outrageous piece of skill there by Gerard Hegarty. We've seen that through the championship. We saw Cian Lynch earlier with a flick up into his hand, and this is a skillful, confident start by this young Limerick team.
Limerick wides 5, Limerick scores 3, Galway wides 2, Galway no score. Story of the first 5 minutes.
And there's the short puck out to Hanbury again, blocked down by Seamus Flanagan again, and the tackling of this Limerick forward line, very, very impressive.
Micheál Donoghue, 3rd year in charge. Torrig Mannion, a Hosca Fuhana in the county of Galway. Teacher in St. Coon's, Castle Blakeney. Down towards Jonathan Glenn. Half blocked. Ball is still there. Glenn is coming in to challenge. Is that a 65? Yes, it is. First 65 of the afternoon.
Yeah, very few options there again. If you look up, no loose man, no loose Galway man, all been closed down, man marked. And you see Tom Morris just in the top of your picture after drifting back from wing forward as well. So Limerick defending man on man all over the field. And Joe Canning has got a lot of important scores for Galway over the years. This is an important one to settle him. They haven't got into the game at all, and they're lucky that they're not 5 or 6 points down.
So far, he scored a goal and 68 points in this championship, Joe Canning. 41 frees, 3 65s, 5 sidelines. The goal coming from a penalty. He knows this is important to settle his team, the All-Ireland champions. Seeking history. Deep breaths. Focus. Lifts. Strikes. Over the bar. It took almost 7 minutes of play for Galway to get their first score. Tuck out from Nicky Quaid is a good one. Far as Seamus Flanagan. Pass to Gerard Hegarty was just a little bit too high. McInerney got it, lays it off to Mannion. Torrig Mannion. Over for his captain David Burke, about to be hooked by Seamus Flanagan. David Burke tries to turn the corner, get inside. Referee allows the advantage. Great leadership, David Burke. Over the bar. When his team were a little bit unsettled, he's done it in the past against Clare and the draw in the replay. He was really hassled here. Great pressure by Flanagan, but he skipped by to score an invaluable point.
Yeah, and you just see at this level, a little mistake there. The pass was a bit high into Gerard Hegarty, and Galway won it back in a great counter-attack. And David Burke, you know, he had a brilliant final last year. He's a great man on a big occasion. That's a super score. And Darragh Donovan is another one of these experts on these line balls. It's a modern game. We've so many. Ronan Maher from Tape, Joe Canning, and this lad's as good as any of them. And he'll half, I know it's right in the middle of the field, but half fancy his chances here.
Interesting you say that. He scored 3 sidelines cuts in this championship journey, including against Clare. Doon in the county of Limerick didn't really get behind this. Rebound comes to Diarmuid Burns. Cian Lynch somehow got the ball, gets by the challenge of Johnny Cohen's tail. The advantage has been given, but Cian Lynch, what determination, what skill. And just in case you don't know, he's the nephew of Kieran Carey.
No, but look at the bravery first of all. To go in there, flying, hurl flying everywhere, brilliant skill, and a super score. A key man today. If he keeps up this performance, Limerick will go a long way towards winning it.
3 Limerick lads around Johnny Cohen. Ball comes back to Gerard McInerney, getting away from Gerard Hegarty. Oh, I felt that shudder all the way up here on the 7th floor. Backfires Torrig Mannion, flips it in. His brother is unmarked at the moment, and the ball come loose and available, but Limerick have it under control with Mike Casey. Backfires Nicky Quaid. Primary school teacher now in Brewery, giving it short. Flanagan can't control it. Aidan Hart was about to pull the trigger. Comes back out for a centre half back. Declan Hannon from Adair. Declan being pursued. No foul given. Good challenging and good work by Galway. Laid off by Torrig Mannion. It's fairly hectic in Croke Park. Mannion shoots from the middle of the pitch, and Torrig Mannion scores.
And the tempo's up now, Marty. What a score again. Aidan Hart, a little hand pass, and Mannion coming off his shoulder. He's having a fantastic year, as you said earlier. One of the players in line for Player of the Year. And Galway really now settling into it and disrupting some of the short pass to Limerick.
Great catch. Kyle Hayes makes an angle for himself. He looks at the post at the Davin end, and the umpires won't wave the white flag, I'm afraid. 6 wides for Limerick in this opening half. Only, 10 minutes gone.
Yeah, great catch, and he'll be disappointed. It was a good chance for him.
James Scahill goes for distance, dropping it down towards Conor Cooney. Johnny Glenn tried to scoop it up, still trying to do that. 3 Limerick players around. Good pull on the ground, can't beat it. We should see more of it in the game. Comes over crossfires, Adrian Toohey. Ian Lynch just bypassed him, bypassed Dermot Burns as well. Referee saw the foul, and that's going to be a free for Limerick between the 45 and 65.
Yeah, you watch here, I think Jugget just pulls Dermot Burns out of the way to get back at the ball. Very little in it, actually, when you see it again. It just slipped inside him. I think Limerick lucky to get that one, and Rich English coming in there afterwards.
Dermot Burns, captain of the under-21 All-Ireland Victoria side a few years ago. Didn't really connect properly, he knew it himself. Ball drops in, it's still alive. Flanagan gets somewhat of a toe poke back out to the middle of the field, and the ball is sent in high, and the ball is sent over the bar. Darragh O'Donovan getting his first point in this All-Ireland final.
Yeah, lovely. So just watch the way he just falls back on his right foot just to flick it up in the air and over the bar. And himself and Cian Lynch and David Burke-Cole having a great battle in the middle of the field. It's, we're all saying it all week, it's going to be key to the outcome of this match.
Good work here by Adrian Toohey. Tenacious defender, South Galway.
Yeah, look how hard they are having to work to try to get out with the ball, and the helmet came off there fairly easily, but Darragh O'Donovan just stood his ground. I'd say it was Graham Mulcahy holding him back, is why the free was given.
All-Ireland minor medalist back in 2011. He actually played wing back, Adrian Toohey. Now 25 years of age. From Micheál Donoghue, 3rd year in charge. Guided Clarenbridge for an All-Ireland club title in 2011 and has proven himself to be a really fine manager. John Kiley with Paul Kinnerk and Alan Cunningham along the sideline. It's the first opportunity after 12 minutes of play where everybody can draw a little bit of breath. Interesting statistic for you that Limerick's 5 points have all come from play, but they've also registered 6 wides. Will that be costly?
Yeah, well, there'll always be a few. It's the easy ones you'll be disappointed with, and a couple of them are on the soft side, a couple of them under pressure. But I think overall they're going to be thrilled with their start. I think most people expecting a very hot start from Galway, and maybe then Limerick struggling to stay in it, but they've started very well.
And Joe Canning, just beside his own 65-metre line, hits this well, and it sails between the posts. Second point of the game for Joe Canning.
Well, they're the ones I think that make it. Those half chances, Martin, it's a long way out, and Joe made that look so easy.
Nicky Quaid sending these puck outs in front of the Hogan every time, either aiming for the Road Hegarty or Seamus Flanagan. Flanagan that has it, he's under pressure from Cathal Mannion. Dermot Burns scoops it back. Has to go and back him up himself, but there was a chop down, and the referee feels that the chop down was done by the Limerick man, so that's going to be a free for Galway.
And that was on the ball. He pulled him down there, that's where he was. He grabbed the hurl, Rich English, and in under the arm. And I think Galway settling in now, Marty. Big change in there. The first 5 minutes, I thought their work rate and their tackling wasn't normal, but you see there now over the last few minutes. And the puck outs from Nicky Quaid all the time here to Seamus Flanagan, as you say, under the Hogan stand. He's running John Hanbury out from the corner where he's not comfortable, and obviously that's something they've worked on and is working well for them so far.
Joe Canning will be 30 years of age in October. 2 minor, 221, 1 senior All-Ireland medalist. 4 times an all-stop. And that's his 3rd point of the game.
And 4 Club All-Irelands at some hall.
Remarkable. Now, will Nicky Quaid change the direction of his puck outs here? He's been aiming for the Hogan. Going down the middle channel this time. Gerard McInerney. The signal was quickly delivered as Galway go in pursuit of another score from out the middle of the field. Brilliant. Joseph Cooney getting the pass from Gerard McInerney. You could almost hear him shout for it. Gerard, lay it off.
And what a catch by McInerney, but then the vision to look up and flick the ball over 2 or 3 players to Joseph Cooney. Great score.
Puck out comes down towards Tom Morrissey. Sideline is going to Limerick. Fergal Horgan is the linesman at the far side in this first half. Last year's All-Ireland final referee. And Sean Clear from O'Loughlin Gales club in Kilkenny City is in charge of the Hogan stand sideline. Dara Donovan. Easily gathered. Seamus Flanagan with the hit. Kyle Hayes with the pickup. Nice ball inside. Ball is still available and still there. And has it gone in? Graham Mulcahy pursued it all the way. He never gave up. And listen to the Limerick roar. He just kept harassing, kept chasing. Here was the hit by Flanagan on Torrig Mannion. Kyle Hayes let the ball in. Graham Mulcahy lost it here, but he never, ever gave up. There was a touch. And eventually, it rolled over the line.
One of the strangest goals we're going to see in the Ireland final. And I have to say, I think Seamus Flanagan shouldered Torrig Mannion in the back there in the lead up to that goal. There's Johnny Dillon on the ground now. Michael Casey, arms around him there as well. And Galway not happy on the sideline with that pass to play. But that goal, James Cahill went down and somehow the ball went in under him. I thought he was going to actually take it. If you look at it again here, Mulcahy dropped it first time. And just watch Skelly, goes down, misses the ball, it flicks off the foot of Graham Mulcahy. One of the strangest goals I've seen in our Ireland final, but it's still in, it's on the scoreboard.
Ball is dropping in. Nicky Quaid. Was Johnny Glenn being held, I wonder? Ball comes out fires Dan Morrissey. Slither coming at speed. Goes for long ball down the middle. The call comes from Aidan Hart. Flicking it forward as Conor Cooney gathers it just inside his own half of the field, and that ball is gone to the left and wide.
Yeah, the Galway forwards getting it hard to get into the game. Conor Cooney was brilliant last year, been quieter this year, and I think last year he would have scored that. Conor Whelan hasn't touched the ball yet. Cathal Mannion hasn't touched the ball. Johnny Glynn has wrestled inside with Michael Casey, and I think Galway will be very happy to be only 2 points down. They've done very little hurling so far.
Richie English gathered the short puck out from Nicky Quaid. Dahi Burke from Turlockmore. Aidan Hart skipping by the first challenge provided by Gerard Hegarty, aiming for Johnny Glenn. Mike Casey and Glenn's battle will be crucial. Another hard hit on Dan Morrissey. Paul, referee has blown the whistle and he's given a free to Dan Morrissey. Johnny Glenn is protesting and I can understand his pain.
Yeah, I wonder if it was for throwing the ball. Just watch it again here. There's nothing wrong with that. It was some hit. Just watch here. If they show the, if I can't see anything wrong with that, Morrissey was coming in to tackle him.
Well, the Galway fans and supporters didn't like it, but the free has been given to Limerick.
If it was for the shoulder, it's a wrong decision. But maybe it was, and we didn't get a chance. Maybe it was for throwing the hand pass out.
Dermot Burns on the Mary I team that won the Fitzgibbon Cup. As the ball drops in, James Cahill is underneath it. Sends it down towards Joe Cannon. Johnny Cohen calls for it, making himself available as the Loughrea. Diagonal ball again is aimed at the Galway attack that hasn't really functioned. And we haven't even seen this man, Conor Whelan. Staying with him is Sean Finn. Conor Whelan turns, shoots, and that is gone again to the wrong side of the post. Galway now have registered 5 wides to Limerick 6.
Yeah, and simple defending there by Sean Finn. He just stood him up and didn't give him the angle that he was looking for to put it over. And Conor Whelan, who's averaged at least 3 points a game in the championship, puts that one wide.
Nicky Quaid gives it to Mike Casey. Down far is Tom Morrissey, and that is a brilliant score. Galway a bit all over the shop, I have to say. They're not fully functioning, and Limerick are using the quick ball quite effectively.
Yeah, look at the space that Tom Morrissey had there. Nobody picked him up. He came from the far wing over there. Great ball up the field again, and a simple score for Tom.
Short puck out again, being used by Galway. Adrian Toohey. Limerick took the pressure on. Dahi Burke makes himself available. Good play again by the Galway forwards, not allowing Galway to come forward. Adrian Toohey drives it low. Number 2 to number 2. Sean Finn is the other one. Into the centre. Declan Hannon from Adair, giving it a mighty puck up a ball. But again, the radar not working. 7 wides for Limerick.
Yeah, we've seen such a standard of hurling during the summer. All the games, the high-scoring games, we're not used to this. That so many balls go wide. It's a good game to an extent, but an awful lot of wides that are taken from it.
James Skell's puck out ends for Joseph Cooney. Backfires Aidan Hart. Floating one in. 4 Limerick defenders there. One of them is Mike Casey. Comes out like Van Larkin did many years ago for Kilkenny. Dropping it down. It's a bit of a wasted possession though. James Skehill. Overfires John Hanbury. Aidan Hart is available to his left. Hanbury gets by that initial challenge, and the second, and the third. Overfires Joe Canning. It was a bit of a hospital pass. I don't think Joe was expecting it. And Limerick regained the possession. Cian Lynch to Gerard Hegarty. Has the time to gather it. Under pressure. Needs to give it back. Darragh O'Donovan. Little sidestep. Seamus Flanagan. Under severe pressure. And again, the shooting is poor.
Yeah, the option taken is poor. John Hanbury, he had 2 or 3 chances to pass the ball before he did, and he gave Joe, as you say, a hospital pass. And then Limerick didn't look up from the Declan Hannon got the ball, drove it into James Skehill. So a lot of mistakes now in the last 5 minutes.
Limerick's won 6, all from play. That's the positive. The negative, however, is that they've registered 8 wides.
And Galway's puckouts continue to kill them. They go long, they're out of position. The short ones aren't working. Limerick are putting them under too much pressure, and Galway in trouble to get any sort of primary possession.
Good work here by Corey Mannion. Once again, head down, under severe pressure. Great work by Limerick. Did they do enough to put him off? They did. But the puck-out strategy from Galway doesn't seem to be working, either short or long. The decision-making is
Well, it's like
poor.
they're taking him short for the sake of it. There doesn't seem to be an option after the man gets it in the full back line. There's nobody looking for possession, and then they go long, they're not winning them either, so they're in trouble from the restart.
Nicky Quaid bombing this down on top of Gerard McInerney and Gerard Hegarty. The 2 Gerards. Johnny Cohen comes away with it. Over first, Porrig Mannion, who's getting on a lot of ball. Joe Canning, oh look at that for determination. And Declan Hannon showing leadership. He anticipated well. He steps away from the challenge and says, that's over the bar. Adair, Limerick, shot inside, celebrates.
And that's a huge score. Joe Canning, waited for the ball. You can't do that at this level. And Declan Hannon stepped in and over the bar. Great hurling centre back. Yeah, he's great skill, and that's a super score.
4-point advantage for John Kiley. Originally from Galway, now with Gary Spillane, ex-intercounty footballer. He was the sub on the 94-96 Limerick teams that played in the All-Ireland final. 23 and a half minutes gone. Galway haven't scored since the 15th minute. David Burke in his 48 championship appearance. Another one of the under-21 All-Ireland medalists back in 2011. Ball into the centre. Joe Canning trying to gather it. Kicked away on this occasion. Conor Cooney. That is going left and wide.
Yeah, when they're going through a tough spell, you take on those shots more in hope than expectation. That's a poor wide. Joseph Cooney was free on the far side of the field if he had looked up.
Let's be honest, Michael, we would have expected the All-Ireland champions Galway. This is new to Limerick, and yet it's Galway that look unsettled. And the young lads who John Kiley always says that they're exceptionally cool, they really are performing.
And they are, and here's Graham Mulcahy on the ball again, 28 years of age, the oldest player in the team.
Graham Mulcahy going for a point. And once again.
And the wides are, yeah, look, both teams, Marty, in fairness, Limerick have had an awful lot of the play. That's 9 wides now in 25 minutes.
Referee has blown his whistle. Injured player in front of the Cusack stand. And that's the reason why the puck out will have to be taken again.
Yeah, and James Owen's gone in there now to James Gall. I think he's just telling him to wait for the whistle. David Burke got a heavy knock there. He got sandwiched there a couple of minutes ago. But go back to your point, Marty. It is unusual. Galway just, to me, you know, so well coached normally, but they look to have no game plan at all. They're taking the short puck out, and they look up, then cornerback or fullback, they've nowhere to go. They're trying to run out with the ball. Limerick are just hassling them and harrying them. They're losing possession, and I think they'll be, I said it when they were 2 points down, I think they'll be very, very happy only to be 4 points down, and if they can get a score or two before half time, they can go in and regroup. But so far, Limerick well on top, and should be further ahead.
David Burke getting running repairs. Joe Canning on your screen. David Burke, 4 times an All-Star, including midfield last year in 2016. His combination with Johnny Cohen has been a vital ingredient in the journey to this All-Ireland final. Long puck out this time from James Skehill. Diarmuid Burns gone back to gather. Into the centre. There's 3 Limerick players available. Seamus Flanagan, the Road Hegarty. Not a great ball inside to Aaron Gillan. But I have to say again, Michael, when that ball came out, there were 3 Limerick players almost unmarked.
Absolutely, and Galway trying to move around this. Johnny Glynn was out wing forward, he was in the centre. They've Conor Whelan gone in full forward. They're trying to change it up, but to me it's just they're hitting hope at the moment.
Long ball in towards Conor Whelan. Declan Hannon is there. Sub to Richie English. The call comes from Darragh O'Donovan to hand, and he gets it. To hand again. Nice skill, Aaron Gillan. But they're shooting from way out the field. Is it on its way? The umpire is going to stretch out his arms once again. They're doing so well up to the 45-metre line, and then they're shooting from really difficult angles.
They are, but they're playing the game on their terms, Marty. They're switching their forward line all the time. Galway don't know who they're marking. They're not going in this one-on-one physical battle with McInerney and Dahi Burke in particular inside. So, as you say, playing very well, but letting themselves down. Their shooting has been terrible so far.
And yet another puck out from Galway goes astray. It was aimed at Joseph Cooney from James Skehill, went straight out over the sideline. Darragh O'Donovan. Declan Hannon going for a second point. Who's marking who, I ask? Centre half back is supposed to be marking Joe Canning, but right now somebody needs to mark Declan Hannon.
Just came off the shoulder again there. Joe doesn't seem to have the legs for him there the last couple of balls, and Hannon absolutely having a storming game at centre back.
1 goal, 8 points for Limerick. Each and every one of those scores from play. Here comes David Burke, and that zips over the crossbar for the midfielder's second point of the game.
Yeah, Glynn out wing forward, a great catch, and David Burke off his shoulder, a lovely simple score.
Nicky Quaid. This time switching it over to the other wing. Kyle Hayes had it momentarily. Graham Mulcahy falling at the wrong time. Here comes Hayes, who stepped out over the sideline, and Fergal Horgan had his flag waving. Absolutely right call. Sideline ball for Galway. Two number 5s in this All-Ireland final playing really well. Torrig Mannion for Galway, Diarmuid Burns for Limerick, Conor Cooney. Look at the 3 Limerick defenders around the Galway man, and it's Limerick that comes away with it. 2 against 2 up here. Eventually the Limerick man has it. That is Seamus Flanagan heading towards goal. Guy Burke chasing. Still Seamus Flanagan. Cian Lynch wants it. Cian Lynch makes the run. Cian Lynch picks it up. Oh, knocked away brilliantly. Johnny Cohen. The wrist work was brilliant. It's a free out for Galway.
And that's what Galway do, or Johnny Cohen does so well. Last year in the Ireland finally picked up Jamie Barron here, and he tracked them all over Croke Park. And again, they're great run by Cian Lynch, lovely ball by Flanagan. We saw the goal against Cork as well when Lynch stole in behind, but beautiful piece of skill by Johnny Cohen.
30-year-old James Skehill from Capitagal. We've been informed that Garrod Hegarty got a yellow card there off camera as the ball is dropping in around the house again. Picked up by Joseph Cooney. He's already scored once. That's the way it's going to stay for the moment. 8 wides for Galway, 11 wides for Limerick. That is the story, so too is the performance of Limerick. This young Limerick side, the challengers, taking on the All-Ireland champions. This is the reason why Garrod Hegarty got a yellow card, we believe.
Harsh yellow card, you know.
Harsh yellow card.
Yeah, he just, it actually looked, to be fair, from here, it looked worse. At the time, it looked like a high tackle, but when you see it there, it was just the arm in, it wasn't overly aggressive. Mike Casey down injured now, this is a worry.
Mike Casey, I think, is the player that's down injured, having picked up an injury. He's on the minor team that lost the All-Ireland minor final a couple of years ago to Kilkenny. Under 21 All-Ireland medalist 2016. Just look here at Mike landing here. Fell.
Yeah,
awkward.
Look very awkward. And you know, like we say about a lot of these lads, they're tough men, but very difficult, and very difficult to play out there in Croke Park anytime. But if you have an injury, there's no hiding place.
If he had to leave, John Kiley would have a serious worry, because it's the fullback, and particularly when you're playing Johnny Glenn.
Yeah, no, he's putting it back on.
Any options?
No, but in fairness, he did very well on Johnny Glenn when he was in there. Glenn has gone out of there now, and that aerial threat didn't materialise. Yeah, here's the goal again. Look, Mulcahy, I thought he just dropped the ball. I thought the chance was gone, and Skehill went to ground here. Straight
down in the Gaelic grounds. When the goal went in, that was their reaction. 20,000 people in the Gaelic grounds.
And one Offaly man, Sean, my young lad, is down there. He's in college in UL, so he had to make his way, of course, down there today. Couldn't watch it at home like any normal young lad.
John Kiley looks still a little bit concerned about Mike Casey. All-Ireland under-21 winning manager 2015. And Mike seems to be okay. He's a warrior. He won All-Ireland and Munster Club medals back in 2015 with his club na Piarsaigh. Limerick fans don't seem to be too concerned, as once again we go with Sean Finn under pressure. Conor Cooney, good work by Johnny Glenn. Still Conor Cooney, 2 against 2. Sean Finn battling hard. Back out first, Conor Cooney. There is Joe Canning. Joe Canning lets fly, and Joe Canning. Is that going to be Hawkeye? It's going to be wide.
Yeah.
I thought initially the umpire was going to go for Hawkeye, but he was quite assertive, the umpire.
He was, and I thought it was wide as well from here. Good work though. Sean Finn tried to outrun Johnny Glynn. He took the ball off him.
Puck out again is aimed at Kyle Hayes. Joe Canning seemed to take a knock. The referee has halted play, feeling that the player is injured, which has to be his priority and his concern.
All eyes on the ball here from Kyle Hayes. Went up at the to me, competing for the ball. He's up high. Look at the height he left the ground. He hit Joe a hefty bell from behind.
I think that was a fair challenge.
Well, I come from that era. He was going for the ball. You look at his eyes, they were all on the ball. He never saw Joe Canning there. All he saw was the sitter, and to me it was a hard knock, but it was no free.
The linesman has informed Micheál Donoghue that he needs to stay in his area. He's issuing instructions as Joe Canning is still recovering. Let's just watch this again. Just jumping for the ball, I would argue.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Just Marty off camera, interested to see David Burke called in his 6 backs for a word, and he was pointing down the field, and he's telling them to watch the runners down the field. They're making runs, but they're not picking them out, and he gave him a chance there to pull them in, showing his experience in his captaincy.
Joe Canning going to take this. John Kiley is quite annoyed. Paul Kinnerk there just beside him as we watch the Portumna man going for his 4th point of the match. Dropping it in. It's a little bit short. Hops all the way for his Nicky Craig. And he goes for distance. Down Ferris. Tom Morrissey, if he can control it. He can't. Sideline ball, Galway. Since the 15th minute, Galway have only managed 1 point. 4 minutes added time in this first half. Still nip and tuck between these two teams. Conor Whelan bearing down on goal. Still Whelan pulls the trigger. Stopped. Good defending. And Limerick are protesting. The referee has blown a whistle. He's given a free in, and Limerick do not like the decision at all. Let's just watch this again, Michael.
Let's just hear that little flick there. Look, we don't want to be questioning every refereeing decision, you know, in the game, but you can see the covering there from Cian Lynch and the pace that he showed to get back from the middle of the field, and Declan Hannon fuming there because they thought they'd done a really good job in holding up Whelan. It looked initially there was a great goal chance on there, but Cian Lynch showed, and the crowd still booing. It's not Joe Canning's fault he got the belt either into the back earlier on, but it wasn't a free, and the Limerick crowd vented their fury on Joe.
That's his 4th point in this All-Ireland final. Graham Mulcahy's goal, the difference between the teams at the moment. That coming after 16 minutes. Richie English. Tom Morrissey. Sideline ball. They were looking for a free, but I think Tom took the wrong option. It was too narrow an avenue down by the sideline.
Absolutely. I think when he caught the ball, he was caught. I think he was fouled. He was swung around and the free wasn't given. And Galway, look at this now. No one picking up Joseph Cooney.
Joseph Cooney was calling for it from David Burke. He's under pressure, but Cooney hits the sliotar straight between the post and over the bar.
Yeah, you're taught something as young lad. Don't be arguing with the ref after a decision. They were arguing with the lines of the ref. No one picked up Joseph Cooney, and amazingly Galway are only 2 points down this All-Ireland final.
Declan Hannon over for Seamus Flanagan, about to be challenged by John Hanbury. Aaron Gallagher, who we've seen very little of. In comes Flanagan, powerful, strong, skillful, takes 2 from Galway to stop him, and that's a free in for Limerick. The Road Hegarty, Kyle Hayes, Seamus Flanagan, very prominent in that particular movement. As Seamus Flanagan was fouled.
No free again, Marty, I'm afraid. I don't want to be at this now, but that's Scarra McInerney came over with a fair shoulder and knocked him to the ground, and to me again no free, and a lot of players getting involved afterwards, and James Owens out.
Let's have a look at this again.
McInerney comes across shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, you're right.
He dived onto the ground. He dramatically left the ground, and he's after giving a yellow card now as well, merely just to reinforce the fact that he felt it was a free, but it's not a free, and it's certainly not a yellow card.
Well, when you look at the replay, it certainly looked shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip. Aaron Gallagher going for his 2nd point in this All-Ireland final. Drops it in, and James Skehill put up the hurley to deflect it over the crossbar. 3-point gap. Limerick's first score in the last 10 minutes.
And their first goal from a free. The other previous 1-8 all from play.
Galway beginning to find their rhythm. Aidan Hart, Ferris Garrod McInerney, Colin Mannion from out the field, sends that to the wrong side of the post and wide.
A little bit of anxiousness. I think a lot of the forwards in the game haven't got into the game, and then they're getting half chances like that, and they're snapping at them. Maybe if they were, if he was more involved, he's had a very good year, Cathal Mannion. But that's really the first time I can remember him touching the ball in the first half.
Nicky Quaid again goes for this Hogan stand side. Nice pick up by Aaron Gallagher. Darragh Donovan sends it over towards Dan Morrissey. Doon to Haha. Down to Seamus Flanagan. Turning. Shooting. And Flanagan is beginning to pose problems for the county of Galway. Very good play, I have to say, by Flanagan.
Well, brilliant play there. First of all, Darragh Donovan composed out to Dan Morrissey. and Lurden finally you'd be tempted maybe to have a shot, but what a ball in front of Flanagan, and he stuck it over the bar. A great first half performance by Limerick, and they should be further ahead, and they're getting some reception now going off.
The Limerick crowd are on their feet, saluting the performance of their young team in their first All-Ireland final. Can they bridge that 45-year gap? The All-Ireland champions still very much alive. Graham Mulcahy's goal in the 16th minute, essentially the difference. They've only been level once. Half-time score in Croke Park. It is Galway 9 points, Limerick 1 goal and 10. We'll be right back with match analysis.
Centra. We are hurling.
Half-time in the 2018 All-Ireland Hurling Final, and as it stands, Limerick lead Galway by 1 goal and 10 points to 9 points. We should take a check on the scores. There have been a fair few wides in that game as well. 11 by Limerick, 9 by Galway. Now, watch out for our Sunday game competition coming up soon, because you might be on your way to Philadelphia. But who are on their wager to winning the All-Ireland? Limerick, obviously, with the advantage. Are they worth it?
Well, it was a strange first half in that you could say it never really came alive.
No.
You know, I suppose what best reflects the first half is that there have been as many wides as there have been scores.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it has been having the good and the bad, I suppose, in a way. A few things we expected. Dahi Buck, of course, on Gillan, he's tied him down completely inside there, even when Gillan moves around. And what puzzled me about the placing of Joe Canning, he's almost playing as a sweeper back in his own, and Declan Hannon has been inspirational at centre back with two outstanding points. You know, his contribution has been the highlight of the first half. I think though Limerick's, their first touch is not as good as it has been up to now. Probably a bit of nervousness, the occasion and all that.
Yeah.
But they will be delighted to be 4 points.
But they have a lot more energy, Jared. They're buzzing around the place, and Galway seemed dead in the ground. And we were questioning their central spine. Was Mike Casey going to be able for Glynn? Has done a marvellous job on him, as you know, totally nullified him. And as you said, Hanning is playing a massive captain's part, driving up that centre. So they have a lot more energy about it, and Galway are the ones definitely scratching their head at half time.
They have a lot more energy. They also have the green flag.
Yeah, we said goals are going to be the winner here today, and it was very scrappy. Now, in the overall context, there's been a few frees, dubious frees. I thought Pádraig Mannion's for the goal. Seamus Flanagan gives him a shot in the back. There was frees for that later on. Kyle Hayes has been very good. Look, this is precision ball. Tui does very well to stand him up. Mulcahy, James Scahill, no for me. He went to the ground too much. The goalkeeper has to be big and strong. He jumps in the ground. That should have been a free out for me. But from there, Kyle Hayes is brilliant. Mulcahy goes to take him on. They haven't here. There's plenty of warm. James Scahill should be standing up and killing that ball. It just bobbles kind of over the line. But Graham Mulcahy had to be in there, and that has been a massive score and given Limerick massive confidence.
Yeah, and you'd have to say that, you know, up front they're working really hard, the Limerick forwards. I mean, when you look at the other end of the field, like the Galway forward line have not functioned at all in that first half. You know, really disappointed. They just simply haven't stood up. So there's going to be serious questions asked of that forward line, because if they don't bring an energy to this pitch in the second half, they are going to relinquish their crown.
Yeah, when you think of it, that 5 points of their 9 have come from Blaze Ball.
Absolutely.
There's
There's
no fluency at all to that attack, you know, whereas Limerick have won 9. Even Limerick have only got 1 point.
Well, some of the Limerick scores, the points taken, have been really good, as you said.
Yeah, and they create the space and they get the ball into space. This is what they've been so good at all the year. But as Henry said there, it's their fight outside the field. This is an All-Ireland final. You have to battle for every ball. Yeah. You can't be expecting to get ball free. Look, we're playing around him everywhere and still ball over there. That's Gillan. And to do that after missing a few earlier chances shows great carry. Now Flanagan I'm just watching his movement all over the field. He's thrown himself at everything. And you see now why he ran 14 kilometres in a game. He is everywhere, breaking up. His touch is not great, but my God, has that man character. And this is the man, of course, who's making the big difference today. But when your captain is doing that, when your captain...
But that's Galway, Joe is standing. That's the difference, you know, and you're waiting for the ball. Galway Limerick are absolutely going for it. Darragh Donovan's having a brilliant game. Here's Hannon again on the shoulder, and that's inspiration.
Now, they're keeping Gillan inside in the full forward, but Dahi Buck, this is the one thing that's not working for Limerick today. You know, moving Gillan to the full forward, as Liam was pointing out before the game, they were going to keep Dahi at full back today. He's in command in there.
But the only thing I could say to counteract that, it's not working for Gillan in terms of he's getting ball. But the space that they're creating, the idea that they have is working, and we're going to show a piece later on.
Because it's leaving room for everybody else.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, before we leave you briefly for a break here on the programme, there is a prize to be won by you. It's a trip to the States with money in your pocket.
Littlewoods Ireland, proud sponsor of the GAA Hurling Championship.
Centra. We are hurling.
A reminder of the half-time scoreline: Limerick leading Galway by 1 goal and 10 points to 9 points. Liam, before the match, you were making a point about the Limerick movement, and you were showing some examples to emphasise that.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we spoke about the game plan and the importance of Limerick being able to create the spaces, and like they've managed to do it to a T, to be honest with you. They're able to, you know, you can see it. We had the graph before the match. You can nearly replicate the graph of how they're moving around there. And there's Aaron Gillan breaking onto the ball and strikes a great point. And they're really struggling because they're getting away the ball well in the puck outs. And that's really one. You'll see it here. Diarmuid Burns picks a puck out. Watch Tom Morrissey's movement here. He's stepped off his man. He hasn't been tracked. All the space is created. They're actually running into the space. In he goes. And he's left absolutely uncontested. And he's able to strike the ball over the bar. And that has happened on numerous occasions. So really and truly, you know, Micheál Donoghue and his team have a big question to answer in this second half, because at the moment Limerick are winning all the individual battles and they're really well on top at this moment. And 4 points is a handsome lead at half time.
And the other side of that as well, Michael, is all that movement is wearing out the Galway backs. You know, it mightn't show yet, but with 15, 20 minutes to go, if Limerick keep up that movement, that's what John Kyle will be saying, keep that movement going. If they do, then you'll see those backs flagging and gaps will open.
Henry Shefflin, you guys were in that situation against Galway in the All-Ireland final at half-time. What did you do? I mean, apart from what you do.
You're ready to show.
Well, no, I think we were starting to creep back into it. We were starting to creep back into it just before half-time. I gave a bit of impetus at half-time, but we knew ourselves as individuals. And I think for Galway, 1 forward has scored from play against Limerick's 5 forwards from play. I think they're playing as individuals. I think there's too many of them trying to do it themselves. I think that team play we saw last year we haven't seen. So I'm sure Micheál Donoghue wouldn't have been happy at half-time. And I think he wants his leaders to step up. Get a bit of structure to it, get a bit of game plan I spoke about before, playing it through the lines, giving it to man in the better position. And I don't think we've seen that from Galway today so far.
And
Limerick, by the way, sorry Liam, Galway are out for a minute or two now at this stage, still waiting for Limerick.
But I probably add to that point, because Henry is very modest and he hasn't called it out the way it actually was in 2012. Kilkenny required someone to stand up and grab the game by the scruff of the neck. Enter Henry Shefflin. He went out centre forward. He grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck and single-handedly turned it on its head and got the draw. Now, somebody in that 6 forwards of Galway is going to have to play a similar role today, because if they don't, they are going to link with this crowd, because the hunger and energy that's on the pitch and that's in the stands from Limerick right now is unbelievable.
And they have to push Joe forward. You know, you can't have Joe back in his own half-back line and you're down 4 points at half-time. If they push him forward, keep within 40 yards of the goal, they've made no real charge at the Limerick full-back line at all. It's been very, very comfortable for the Limerick full-back line. Mike Casey, all of those playing very, very well. But 4 points is nothing in hurling, as you know. So the game is so evenly balanced. But now is Limerick's chance. This is a really, really great chance. Keep up that work rate, keep that movement. Well, and then they have the subs to come on, as we know, in the last 15 minutes. And maybe looking at it now that this is their day.
Time for us to head back to the commentary box to rejoin Marty Morrissey and Michael Duignan.
35 minutes or just a little bit more to decide where the Liam McCarthy Cup will spend the winter and the spring. Will it be Limerick after 45 years? Will it be Galway to do 2 in a row? In his anxiety, Seamus Flanagan picked the ball off the ground, and that's going to be a free for Galway.
Yeah, and Joe Canning coming back an awful long way to take it. A lot of chat there, Marty, at half-time around here. 21 wides in the first half. It takes the momentum out of the game. So let's hope for, a lot better second half. Limerick in a great position, but we've seen all summer teams leading by 7, 8, 9 points turned around in no time in hurling. So long way to go yet.
Limerick have scored 110, as you can see on your television screen. 1-9 from play. Just really, if they could get their shooting boots on and the radar working, they could be further ahead. Maybe the same too could apply to Joe Canning. An unusual miss, but to be fair to the man, he was inside his own half of the field. 4 points between the teams. I wonder what Micheál Donoghue said at half-time. Nicky Quaid goes short. Over far is Sean Finn from Bruff. On the minor team that got to the All-Ireland final back in 2014. Down far is Seamus Flanagan, who's been really impressive at the edge of the square, causing problems. Difficult enough angle, too difficult for him. And again, there was, on that particular moment, there was nobody really coming from outside to give him a hand.
No, there wasn't. He looked up, with his pace, I think he trusts himself more. He could have maybe headed on towards the goals there. He is causing havoc out there with his movement. He's running from full forward out to the wing, out to the corner.
And Seamus Flanagan won an under-21 All-Ireland last year. Great catch, Conor Cooney. A little bit of leadership now required to Johnny Cohen. And the hook almost worked for Kyle Hayes. Well, it did actually, because it put the goalkeeper man off.
Yeah, great work right there again. Johnny Cohen should have really stepped inside if he saw him coming, and he went to flick over. He's taken over the game. These wides. That's 12 for Galway, 11 for Limerick, and
fantastic catch,
Conor Cooney. Yeah. But you're right about Flanagan. He wasn't an underage star, but he's a super player in there, causing all sorts of trouble.
Long ball from Sean Finn, dropping it in again around the house, causing problems since 3:30 this afternoon. Back out far is Cian Lynch, created by Aaron Gallan, easily gathered by James Skehill. Down far is Pádraig Mannion. Good control by Cathal Mannion, the brother. Still playing very deep. Ball in far is David Burke. Sends it fast down the middle. Easily cut out on this occasion. Quick hands again. Dan Morrissey called. The brother called. They're hand boys. The brothers giving it low into the corner. Nice work by Limerick, but they need to finish it off. Good anticipation there by Pádraig Mannion, but Limerick have it back again. Then they lose it. It's that kind of a day, that kind of a game, and again they lose it. Amazing. Kyle Hayes, can he punish the error? Kyle Hayes from Kildimo, Pallaskenray sends it straight between the posts for his second point of the game.
Yeah, comedy of errors, Marty. You commented there. But what a young lad this is. You said it in your introduction, Marty. Won a minor in 16 and 21 in 17. He's only 20 years of age, and what a leader he has. Go back to the game in Cork where he scored the equalising point at the very last end of the game, and a brilliant centre back in the under-21 team. He can play anywhere.
John Hanbury goes long, down towards Joseph Cooney. Joseph Cooney turns inside, and that hits an absolute beauty. 3 points. The Sarsfields man, son of Joe. He was part of that double team.
He was. Joseph Cooney, one of the greats, and that's a brilliant score. Joseph Cooney has scored 3 from play, the only Galway forward. That's hard to believe, and we've 38 minutes gone in the Ireland final. He's the only forward that scored from play in the game so far.
Aidan Hart sends it long. This should be Mike Casey. It gets there. Nice pick-up. First touch was crucial. Second is as well. Far as Diarmaid Byrne, student in LIT. Gives it in long. Far as Aaron Gallan. Aaron Gallan gets the call this time back outside. There's an opportunity here. Good play again by Kyle Hayes. Half blocked. Bounces off a Galway man. Good defending by Galway, but the ball is given away. Diarmaid Burns hits it, a mighty puck of a ball, and up goes the white flag. They rejoice in Croke Park. They rejoice around the world if you happen to be born in the county of Limerick.
Yeah, you have to give great credit to both Aaron Gallan and Seamus Flanagan. They're shown in front every single time. Gallan came out or looked up and picked out Hayes, ended up then in bad clearance out to Diarmaid Burns, and he struck it over the bar. And this half-back line midfield now beginning to dominate in the half-hour, and Kyle Hayes going to town here.
Here comes another opportunity. Hit from just inside the goal by half of the field. This time the ball is wide. Oh, in fact, he's going for Hawkeye. But right now, the momentum at the start of the second half going with the Shannonsiders.
It is, and Kyle Hayes, key man. He's letting Garrett McInerney sit back, but he's drifting and supporting the midfield and half-hour line. Here's the decision.
Hawkeye has made a decision. Is it a Thaw or a Neil? It's a call, judging by that picture. Confirmed? Yes, it is. Is there anybody home in Limerick? Because when they score, there is a massive roar. From Bruff, Aha, Kilmallock, downtown Patrick's Well, they're all here. Ball breaks knocked away on this occasion, but can they hold on? They've now established a 6-point lead. There's a long way to go. Johnny Cohen under a bit of pressure, steps away. Cian Lynch comes in to challenge. Nice stick work on this occasion by David Burke, dropping the ball in. In fires Nicky Quaid. Nicky Quaid following in the footsteps of his dad, the late Tommy Quaid. What a brilliant goalkeeper he was. Played in the All-Ireland final in 1980. Ball down the middle. Great hands again. This is more like it from Limerick. They're playing like they won the under-21 a couple of seasons ago. Comes out first, Kyle Hayes. Hayes! Kildimo Palace Gunnery, they're going to build you a monument, Kyle, at just 20 years of age if you keep up this kind of form. Look at this.
And look at the combination, Marty, between the two young lads. Seamus Flanagan up with a brilliant catch and had the vision to look out. And Hayes is absolutely rampaging in the second half. He's destroying Gareth McInerney, and Galway are going to have to make some changes in that half-back and pick him up.
Declan Hannon to Cian Lynch to Dermot Burns, dropping it in, diagonal ball again. Come back as Adrian Toohey knocks it back with a heavy collision between Toohey and Gallan, and the referee blows the whistle. Scoreboard: Limerick 114, Galway 10 points. Honestly, that was a hefty challenge, but honestly, you would think it was Limerick were playing in their second All-Ireland final in a row.
Well, it's the energy and the enthusiasm, and I went for Galway based on their experience. You know, they could still do it, but they're in big trouble now. But Limerick have just come here, and if you heard John Kiley's interview there earlier on, where he said, I don't, again, to me it looked like an accidental clash again. But John Kiley, back to the point, John Kiley spoke about that the past is the past. The past is gone. We have no control over that. And these young lads just have that lovely humbleness about them, but they have a great spirit and a great will to win, and they're doing it out here now at the moment. And if they can keep it up, it's just looking at Galway up front. There's nobody except for Joseph Cooney standing up today, and they look tired and they look jaded, and we still have to see the impact of this Limerick bench whenever it comes.
Hall Donoghue looks concerned. You don't blame him. 7 points down as the ball drops in. They let it hop into Nicky Quaid. Assertive and in control. Out far is Dan Morrissey, older brother of Tom. Giving it down to Tom, only 22 years of age. Scored 26 points in this championship journey. The referee has blown his whistle for the challenge by Pádraig Mannion and Graham Mulcahy, and it's a free in for Limerick. James Owens explaining, you saw it yourself, it's a yellow card for the number 5 for pulling across Mulcahy.
Yeah, the work rate again from Mulcahy. He had no right to be out there when that ball came down the wing. Watch him here, just a tiny little flick on, and Mannion took him out after, shoulder into the back, and good call by James Owens.
Aaron Gallan scored the only point from a free for Limerick in this All-Ireland final so far. Limerick 114, 113 from play. Here he comes. It's on its way. Never in any doubt.
A beautiful strike straight over the black spot.
Short puck out for us, John Hanbury. Free to Galway. No question that Seamus Flanagan was fouling.
That physicality of that Limerick forward line. Like Flanagan's a big, strong man, so is Gallan. Their short puckouts aren't working because they're holding him up. And okay, he gave away a free there, and he's after slowing the game down, but that's what he's there for. But that tackling and work rate of the Limerick forward set the tone. And you know, in the first half, they missed an awful lot of chances. And really, all we're seeing now in the second half is a reflection on the game today.
So far, Limerick has scored 5 points in the second half. Galway just 1. Interesting that they're leaving Joe Canning, who was strolling over to take the free. They decided to put him in around the house and let Pádraig Mannion take the free. Gave it a mighty belt. And the ball is wide. For Galway's 13th wide of the game. Did you ever have one of those days? I think Galway having them.
And when you look at it, Pádraig Mannion, the points from play, David Burke 2 from play. and Joseph Cooney 3 from play, and that's it. Apart from 3 frees and a 65 for Joe Canning. So the Limerick backline have absolutely torn this Galway attack apart. And through hurling, not through anything else, through attacking the ball, using their pace, standing Galway players up in possession, and on top all over the field now. There's hardly a Galway player actually winning his battle. Pádraig Mannion maybe the only one out there that's playing as well as he can.
Niall Burke, as you saw coming on there for Colin Mannion, but the Galway attack has really malfunctioned. Cian Lynch, Diarmuid Burns, lovely skill, dropping in around the house again. Ball is there for Graham Mulcahy. David Burke is helping out his beleaguered defence. Still Mulcahy, just like the goal that he scrambled over the line, he's never given up. Here come Galway now. Can they produce something? Nice pick up by Conor Whelan. Kinvarama. Diagonal ball over towards Joseph Cooney. But Joseph, as I said, when you're having one of those days, he just lost it in flight, didn't know where it was, and it went out over the sideline.
Yeah, that sums it up. Conor Whelan, lovely ball across, and Joseph just, there's no sun out there, but he lost the ball, he didn't know where it was.
Paul Kinnerk, who was involved with Clare in 2013, walking out a shot. Micheál Donoghue trying to reorganise, looking deeply concerned. It's a substantial lead by Limerick. John Kiley, is he going to bridge that gap of 4 decades and 5? Limerick supporters.
Yeah, sorry, Marty, I see Mike Casey down off the ball again. He's on the ground, he's holding that ankle. Thought he got an injection maybe at half time, but he's in trouble there, and it's Tom Morrissey down the other end of the field.
2 Limerick players down injured. We're looking at Tom Morrissey now. Mike Casey seems to be in a bit of pain as well, having to stretch. John Kiley may have to make alterations. Now he has a very strong bench, but certainly in the full back line he wouldn't want to take out Mike Casey.
Seamus Flanagan, who's down the far end of the field.
More changes in the Galway attack. This is Jason Flynn that's going to be coming in shortly. Meanwhile, Darragh Donovan is going to take the sideline cut, and it's another sideline ball for Limerick. Looks like Conor Cooney is the player that's going to make way. Jason Flynn from the Tommy Larkins club, 3rd highest scorer for Galway behind Joe Canning and Conor Whelan, with a goal and 17 points. Galway fans very anxious. Conor Cooney could be a blood substitution actually. Yes, he seems to have picked up an injury. Terry Grogan just announcing there in the background that Jason Flynn is a temporary substitute.
There's no way Mike Casey is going to play on anyway. He's down again now, and will it be Tom Conlon? Will it be maybe Seamus Hickey? Who's a link here to 2007?
Well, when Limerick began the journey, they had difficulties in the full back line, particularly at number 3. Seamus Hickey might be introduced. On the other hand, it could be Tom.
Yeah, what a game, Mike Casey. It shows you when you're in this game and after an analysis, like everyone thought Johnny Glynn, huge man on the edge of the square, and Mike Casey kept him quiet for the game, and Casey is going out in big trouble.
Shane Dowling is about to warm up. It's Richie McCarthy who's coming on, getting words of advice from Paul Kinnerk. This is a crucial moment from a Limerick perspective. Richie McCarthy having to now try and mark Niall Burke and perhaps Johnny Glenn later on. Brilliantly knocked away. Joe Canning, lovely pickup. Drives it long and straight down the middle. Nicky Quaid comes out to gather it. Nobody immediately available. Wise option. Goes for distance. Dropping into the Galway half of the field. Aidan Hart stepping away from the challenge. Belting it back down into the Limerick half of the field. 3 against 2. Second pull in the slipper that we've seen in this match. It's good to see. Can't beat a bit of good old-fashioned ground hurling. Comes far as Darragh Donovan. Up for his good old Hegarty. Tried to be a little bit too smart, didn't come back off the Galway man, and perhaps Limerick can come through. Great tackle, Johnny Glenn. Still Limerick get the ball inside the Galway half of the field. Johnny Glenn laying it back for his John Hanbury. Glenn doing a lot of the vacuuming up. Still Limerick have it. Tom Morrissey knocked to the floor on this occasion as Galway come away with it. Torrig Mannion laying it off for his Joe Canning. Canning goes for a point from in front of the Hogan stand, and it sails between the posts. It's his 5th point in this All-Ireland final. It's not over yet.
No, great play there by Torrig Mannion. Mentioned him earlier, having a super game. Picked out Joe, and look, there's going to be lots of injury time. There's probably still 25 or 6 minutes left to go in this game, and that score badly needed by Galway. Richie McCarthy's experience will be a big help, but he might just have the pace of Mike Casey, so will that be a factor now in the rest of the game?
Paul is tucked out and drops into the Galway half of the field. Dahi Burke is under a little bit of pressure. Tried to pass it away using the short grip of the Hurling. Doesn't come to a Limerick man. Good old McInerney leaves it off for his Aidan Hart. Aidan Hart has surely fouled. The referee didn't even give the advantage, just said play on. Good hands, great hands, Richie English. Straight down the middle for his Dan Morrissey. Dan Morrissey is fouled by Joe Canning. Free to Limerick. Yes, it is a free. I thought initially he was going to give the advantage, but he didn't. It's going to be a free for the Shannonsiders.
Yeah, you can see there, Joe just comes in. Joe Canning comes in, his left arm again and over his back. Easy call for the ref.
Blood substitution has been reversed. Conor Cooney is back in, and the player that's gone off is Jason Flynn.
You see Niall Burke in there as well. Marta, he maybe came in for Cathal Mannion there around the same time as the blood sub.
This free going to be taken by Dermot Burns. Only in his 2nd season at senior intercounty level. Burns dropping it in. Ball is wide. Still 7 points between the teams. 18 minutes left in the All-Ireland final of 2018. Loads of time for lots of things to happen on either side as James Skehill takes the puck out. Down first, Johnny Glenn, fantastic. Joe Canning, the All-Ireland champions, beginning to step up a gear. Glenn to Canning, 6-pointed again.
Yeah, that's 2 in a row for Canning now, and brilliant catch here by Johnny Glenn. To have him out in the wing there now, probably more comfortable, great. And Joe Canning, we saw, last year when they were in trouble, and there's a lot of time to go here, and Limerick could do with a score now. I know they're 6 points up, but they haven't scored in a while.
Richie McCarthy to Richie English. Haven't scored Limerick for the last 8 minutes or so. Ball drops down towards Graham Mulcahy. Small in stature, big in heart. Sends it back into the middle. Seems to rebound off good old McInerney. Knocked away by Tom Morrissey. Tom going inside the large rectangle. Still Tom! Back in the net! Morrissey from a hand! Lifts the heart of all the people of Limerick. And surely now there is light at the end of the tunnel. 17 minutes to go. Tremendous. The club that produced Mick Mackey has produced the Morrissey brothers and the Moran brothers before him. Watch this for tenacity. Skill back in the net.
Unbelievable goal, Marty. If you watch the tackle, first of all, he took the ball off McInerney, and then to have the composure to settle himself and with one hand and finish it to the net. A brilliant goal by Tom Morrissey.
John Kiley, principal of the CBS school, Abbey CBS in Tipperary Town. There'll be no school for a week in Tipperary. They'll be celebrating if Limerick win this All-Ireland. 54 minutes on the clock. Galway, the champions, in serious trouble. And here they come. Aidan Hart taken down, free in for the Gort man, just inside the Limerick 45.
Yeah, Aidan Hart there, you see him foul there, and but they go, look at Tom Hart, we didn't see him win it, but look at the skill there, one-handed to control that ball and then finish it after Hurl. A super goal, and the first goal might have been a bit of a freakish goal, but it was absolutely not known. That's a brilliant goal.
Under 21 All-Ireland winning captain in 2017.
And when
Scores his first goal he scored in this year's championship.
Absolutely, and I think when Limerick reflect, if they win this All-Ireland, when did they win it? When he caught the puck out against Kilkenny in Thurles after Richie Hogan got the goal. He caught the puck out, stuck it over the bar, and that was the defiance of this Limerick team. And here's Shane Dowling coming now as well.
Listen to the reaction this man is going to get. Shane Dowling is on the field from the Limerick club. Had a remarkable impact in the semi-final against Cork. Scored the penalty. Gone off is Gearóid Hegarty. Shane Dowling, goal and 24 points. 18 frees and a penalty on this journey that could well end with Liam McCarthy spending the winter in Limerick. Still plenty of time. This, Dan Morrison in towards full forward Seamus Flanagan, causing problems again. Flanagan and Kyle Hayes back outside. First, Aaron Gallan. Galway put the pressure on, but the ball is wide.
Well, Flanagan is some operator. Dahi Burke is not used to this. Someone as fast as him, as strong as him. He threw him off that ball and looked up again, picked out Gallan, his partner in there. Two young men, no fear, and it's just great to see the way they're hurling it. Like in the first half, they hit those wides early on. That 5 wides in the first 4 minutes kind of rocked them back when they should have been further ahead. But in the second half here, they've really thrown off the shackles and played some fantastic hurling.
Here comes Conor Cooney, and it's tailing to the right and wide. It is just simply not Galway's day here. That has now their 14th wide.
Yeah, and Conor Cooney, I think that's 4 for him. You know, it just shows you in hurling a year. Last year he was an all-star, he was brilliant, and this year nothing going right for him.
Ball comes on for the goal scorer Tom Morrissey. A little bit optimistic to try from there, but when you've scored a goal, the first goal in the championship of 2018 for you, for Galway fans, difficult to watch. This is not going according to plan. Diarmaid Burns flicking it on, Faris Graham Mulcahy. That left wing of Tom Morrissey and Graham Mulcahy have scored 2-2 between them. And here is Cian Lynch, pulls it first time. Here comes it, oh, great save. James Skehill comes to the rescue. He's picked up an injury as well, and Galway come away with it. The referee will have to halt play. And James Skehill produces a heroic save, a magnificent save in an All-Ireland final.
Yeah, look at the flick over there by Kings and the smack of the ball. I don't know if it hit him, but it was travelling like a rocket, and I hope it didn't hit him in the face. If you watch it here again, Flanagan, and he got a bad belt of the ball there. Seamus Flanagan maybe should have just hit that in the ground. Brilliant flick, brilliant run by Cian Lynch, and brilliantly spotted by Mulcahy. A ball in over the top. And I'd say Seamus Flanagan had pulled on that first time. He was in the back of the net.
Fergal Flannery from the Pádraig Pearson's club is warming up. Same club that produced Cyril Donlan. He's never played championship hurling. Played one league game last year. And Galway fans can hardly believe the performance of their team, the All-Ireland champions. A young, vibrant, energetic team. This was the opportunity here by Tom Morrissey. Flicked into the back of the net, brilliant goal. Just watch the Gaelic grounds. What a reaction below in Gaelic grounds. Their dreams are about to come true.
And we often say it about All-Ireland tickets, if you had 100,000, 150,000. The amount of people from Limerick that would have been here today if they could have got a ticket. There was literally thousands of them outside with signs looking for tickets before the match.
Galway introduced Sean Loftus and gone off as Johnny Cohen. As Galway make several changes.
And Marty, be hoping that James Skehill, that you see a stretcher coming, that he's not badly hurt. He got the speed that slitter was travelling. Flanagan flicked it up and buried it, and hope it maybe hit him in the neck or in something like that, into the throat. He could. I just hope he's okay. But he looks to be getting up onto his knees now.
Tackle man, 30 years of age, 6'5". He really produced a great save to deny Limerick a third goal. And Seamus Flanagan just giving a little handshake there to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he looks badly, does it? It must have hit him in the side of the head, and people will wonder about the helmets.
Fergal Flannery becomes the championship debutant in the All-Ireland hurling final.
As DJ Carey tells the story, some American said to him, I wouldn't like to be down that hurling pitch with a hurl in my hand. And DJ said, I wouldn't like to be down there without one.
Torrig Mannion taking the free. Trumping it down on the 13-20 metre line. In comes Joe Cannon. Pulled away on this occasion. Kyle Hayes. What a game he's having. 2 against 2 up here. Seamus Flanagan. The intention was good. Execution not so good. Aidan Hart to Flynn. Back out first, David Burke. Has a shot at goal, which looks good to me, and it's gone over the bar.
Yeah, good score there. David Burke, maybe I only mentioned Parry, but David Burke playing very well as well in the middle of the field. That's his third time from play. But it's just a goal on the forward line, just never got going today. And the movement of the Limerick attack, they're still running like they did in the first minute. And here's Downey now.
Shane Dowling did well to gather. Joseph Cooney intercepts. Hand pass for Aidan Hart. Frontal charge by Cian Lynch. That's going to be a free for Galway.
And the one thing Limerick have to guard against, Marty, is stopping playing. Don't want to remind them in '94, if Joe Kenny lands this, it's back to 6 points. Goal changes the game of hurling very, very quickly. So Limerick have to stay hurling and add on at least 3 or 4 more points if they're going to make sure of this game.
Joe Cannon focused. High on the target. Dropping in. Just going to the left and wide. That's the 15th wide for Galway in this All-Ireland final. You just sense that it is not their day here.
And Sean Finn is down as well now, corner back.
Worrying time for Micheál Donoghue. It's a very impressive performance by Limerick, and right at the start of the second half they really stuck to their task. There was a little swing there by Jonathan Glenn.
Yeah, he slapped back with the hurl, and I'd say he's not too bad now. Sean Finn maybe across the side of the knee. That's what he's shown there. He got him on the knee, he slapped back with the hurl. Lucky that the umpires were right in front of him, didn't see it.
Limerick are going to introduce Peter Casey. This is the bench that has been highlighted over the last number of weeks. They scored 4-16, the substitute bench for Limerick over this championship campaign, which is remarkable.
Massive. And there's Seamus Flanagan gone off. Not because he had the brilliant game. Here's Dan Morrison now taking a wild shot from out the field. I just want to guard against that. Seamus Flanagan, but this is their plan. We saw it earlier in the summer with, at a certain juncture, Casey comes on, Downey comes on, Pat Ryan will probably come on, and it freshens up the thing. And both Garrett Hegarty had worked very hard, and Seamus Flanagan had great, particularly Flanagan had an outstanding game.
Just keeping it in is Sean Finn, under pressure from David Burke. Darragh O'Donovan has gone back to gather, uses the short grip. Ball is aimed at Tom Morrissey, who got the last touch. Johanna, sideline ball for Galway. 5.5 minutes left in the All-Ireland final.
There's probably going to be 6 or 7 minutes. There was a lot of injury time. We had a couple of big stoppages.
Joe Canning, we've seen him do this so many times in this championship season, and indeed in the past. Does a little 1-2, and that's flying between the posts. It's his 8th point of the match, and Galway get a little bit closer.
Right, that's a lovely score, Mark. Look at the beautiful flick up into Joseph Cooney's hand and back to him. And there's Donoghue now trying to drive them on, and
he senses that they can still do this.
It's not over yet.
Galway have already won Leinster championships back to back. The ultimate one is to try and do what 87 and 88 did. This is a serious test of character. Galway put the pressure on. 2 or 3 players. Every time Limerick have the ball. Graham Mulcahy putting in the pressure. What has the Galway man got to do to get a free? It took a while.
Savage tackling, and it's gone on since the start of the game. John Kiley looks like he's out there himself in the middle. He's not happy with the decision.
I think his argument is that Niall Burke took too many steps.
Well, he'd nowhere to go. Was he fouled? He was barging.
Just a little bit closer. Just outside his own 65-metre line. The eyes say it all as he hits this straight between the post and over the bar. Gone from 6, 7, 8 to 9 points for Joe Cannon.
Yeah, and in fairness to Cannon in the second half, that's 3 from play. He scored that free there as well, and he certainly hasn't given up in the hope that Galway can still do this.
William O'Donoghue is coming on for Limerick. Player gone off is Darragh O'Donovan. Nicky Quaid comes down towards Garone McInerney, couldn't control it. Kyle Hayes has it, and Kyle Hayes hits another slither, a little bit wayward. I have to say he's been playing really well, but wayward from a Limerick perspective.
Well, there's 3 in a row there. Tom Morrissey hit one wide from there. Kyle Hayes, Dan Morrissey took a shot that wasn't on. They should have, their full forward line are on fire inside. Galan, they have Peter Casey in there now. They need to just hit the ball low in front of them and let them try to work it from there.
67 minutes on the clock, 5 points between the teams. Shane Dowling steps away from the challenge. Over for his Tom Morrissey. Tom being pursued. Still Tom Morrissey. Laying it off for his Aaron Galan. And the ball, I know by Aaron Galan's body language, it's well wide. In 1994, Limerick looked like they had the game won. My commentary colleague was on the pitch, and they came back sensationally. Limerick wouldn't want the save to happen.
Great block
Down by Peter Casey, heading towards goal. Will he pass? Will he shoot? He tries to pass, comes to Dowling. What's he going to do? Back in the net! What a player! What a moment! 45 years surely is about to end. John Kiley, the prophet in his own land.
Well, that's it now, Marty. And you know, I'm delighted for that man. What service he's given to Limerick hurling over the years. The coolness of the finish. The right man in the right place at the right time. Shane Dowling, cool, class finish.
Declan Hannon's effort is blocked. Ball has gone wide. Tears for the people of Limerick. They have suffered over the last 4 decades and 5. Michael Reardon is the Limerick County Secretary. I think right now of Dolores O'Riordan, the late Dolores O'Riordan. You've got me wrapped around your finger. Do you have to let it linger? Do you have to? Do you have to? Do you have to let it linger? There is now a minute and a half left in Croke Park.
And their first score in 15 minutes, and what a crucial score. I had said it there, they needed another score. I didn't necessarily think it would be a goal. But Peter Casey with a great block down on Adrian Toohey and worked it into Shane Dowling. And he had just made a swap there with Aaron Galan, who was after making a run before that. A great finish by Dowling, and a man who had to accept the fact he wasn't going to be on the first 15, who's been left off as an impact sub, and come on then every day and do the job that he's done this year. He's been a key man for Limerick.
1973, Pat Hartigan, Eamon Cregan, Grimes, Joe McKenna, Frankie Nolan, Mossy Dowling, all heroes over the last 45 years. Are Limerick about to have new heroes, new All-Ireland champions? 8 minutes going to be added on. Yes, if you're in Gaelic grounds, New York, Singapore, Australia, I did say 8 minutes if you happen to be from Limerick, or indeed Galway. 3:15 to 16 points. Ball is dropped down in towards the corner. Coming across to gather it is Peter Casey. Adrian Toohey sends it into the centre to Niall Burke. Garone McInerney is down the middle. Waiting for it, however, and getting it is Niall Burke. Going long, dropping it into the Limerick half of the field. Under pressure. Good work on this occasion by William O'Donoghue. Little bit of pushing. Goal referee is there. No free given. Galway have to produce something. There's a football man here playing for Hurling, playing for Galway. Johnny Glenn pulls and stopped on the line, out over the hopes, come back in, and Declan Hannon, nerves jangling. It's heart-stopping stuff. Ball comes back outside into the middle of the field. Can Galway produce something here? Here's Cian Lynch. Cian Lynch looking composed, gives it on. Cian Lynch is available again, gets it back, sends it diagonally, aiming for anybody with a Limerick jersey. It's Peter Casey. Peter Casey going down. Is he fouled? Referee says no foul, which rather surprises me, as Galway go back into the attack. Jason Flynn, coolness personified, dropping this in. Galway need goals and they need them badly. Here's one perhaps, back of the net. Conor Whelan. Game not over yet. The All-Ireland champions are showing their character. Can you bear to watch?
Well, that's a great goal, Marty. Great catch, and look at how quickly he made room for himself. A quick couple of steps, buried it into the roof of the net. Peter Casey possibly found the far end of the field, but that's a great finish by Whelan.
Brilliant goal, Conor Whelan. Still time for Micheál Donoghue. 7 minutes left. 5 points between the teams.
And Marty, the first half might have been a little bit dull and a little bit of pressure and a lot of wides, but the second half has had everything. It's a huge drama.
Limerick need another substitute, as another player is down injured.
And the ref will have to get on with it.
Richie English is the player that's down. Played full-back actually on the team that won the under-21. Played with Mary I and one Fitzgibbon Cup, but was made of stern stuff as Limerick introduce Tom Condon. Tom has given sterling service to Limerick over the years. From Knockadderry, lost the All-Ireland minor final in 2005 to Galway, 30 years of age. This could turn out to be the best 6 minutes of his life if Limerick hold on. Ball is given outside. Nicely picked up by Niall Burke. The All-Ireland champions are not finished yet. Conor Whelan, plenty of Limerick defenders there, 3 against 2. Dan Morrissey is there. Back outside, ball comes loose again. Dan Morrissey bursts way forward past Joe Canning. Cian Lynch under pressure. Ball into the centre. The referee says play on. Graham Peter Casey can't control it the first time. Pulls the break. Stays inside. Is the referee? The linesman is indicating Fergal Horgan is saying that Peter Casey was out over the sideline. Sideline ball for Galway.
Yeah, and I'd say Limerick would have taken the free all day long there. You know, it was in the middle of the field. Would have slowed down the game. Was very scoreable. And the ref gave the advantage and let it go, and they've lost possession.
Torrig Mannion to his goalkeeper Fergal Flannery. Mighty puck of the ball deep down into the Limerick half of the field. There's a chance for Mickey Quaid. Touched the ball on the ground, I would have thought, outside the large rectangle. Referee is indicating it's a free in. And what's the final decision?
And Joe Canning is going to go. Watch, if you just watch the left hand here, Mickey Quaid, he goes down here. Just handle the ball on the ground. You get a better look. Joseph just trying to flick it in. He just got his hand to it there, and that's a free in. That's what James Cahill failed to do in the first half when he went down on the ball. He let it go past him and ended up in the back of the net.
73 minutes, heading towards 74.
There's a lot of time.
A lot of time. Can you watch? Can you bear not to watch? 6 Limerick men along the goal line, make it 5. Joe Canning has already scored 9 times. Only scored 1 goal in the championship so far. This is absolutely crucial. Here's Joe. Back in the net. 1 goal and 9 points in the All-Ireland final. And the All-Ireland champions are back in the game.
And Marty, I didn't want to say it, but he doesn't miss them. It's a rocket into the roof. Henry Shefflin here in 2009 scored one down there on the far end at dubious free and stuck it in the net. And they got another goal after that. I think it was Mark Comfort. That is some strike. He nearly took the net off its hinges there.
Absolute rocket. 3.5 minutes left. 2 points between the teams. Kyle Hayes, stamina and skill now required. Ball goes off. Very clever play. Ball goes off. The Limerick man, nice play indeed by Sean Loftus, and Micheál Donoghue is now far more energetic as his team have responded to his calls. 2 points between the teams, 75 minutes played, 3 minutes to go. Not a great first half, what a second half. for sheer drama. Ball is sent over to the far wing. It's a poor ball, easily gathered. In the centre is Pádraig Mannion. Pádraig Mannion going for long ball again. Coming out to gather it is number 22, that's Richie McCarthy. Good play by the substitute, has just been introduced. Into the centre goes Cian Lynch. Pass goes astray. Picked up on this occasion by Niall Burke. And that ball is going inside the post and over the bar. What a recovery, Galway. What about this for character from the All-Ireland champions of 2017? A pass that should have been Limerick's goes astray.
The ball should have been gone 90 yards up the field. Graham Mulcahy crossed the Burke. Marty, what a championship. I thought we'd seen it all. It looked like Limerick were home and home. What a comeback by Galway. Look what you'd lift the stadium out of it here with the noise in Croke Park here now. And we've had it all year. We've said it. 9 points is a dangerous lead in hurling this summer. And look at what Galway have done again. They've come back from the dead.
Listen to the roar around Croke Park. It's Galway now. 1 point between the teams. Great puck out, great catch. Ball is sent in. Has it the legs? Has it the accuracy? Ball is wide.
It's a brilliant catch by Kyle Hayes with the wrong option, and they've done that 5 or 6 times in the last 7 or 8 minutes. He should have passed that outside. I think it was Will O'Donoghue coming through off his shoulder.
Ball comes back into the Limerick half of the field. Possession now crucial for both counties. What a championship. And it ain't over yet. Ball is left behind. Nipping in is Graham Mulcahy. Sends it in. And that is surely on its way. What a response. He scored a goal and 2 points to Kilmallock man. And are Limerick going to hold on?
Well, that's the leadership he's shown all year. To me, he's been one of Limerick's most impressive players. In case he worked hard, broke it to him and over the bar. Will that be the one?
Here comes Aidan Hart. Still time left for the All-Ireland champions. Aidan Hart, the effort is blocked by Cian Lynch, out for a 65. 30 seconds left in the All-Ireland final. Oh my word. This is not good for your heart. And I'm not even from Limerick or Galway. The drama, we've had it since May. The tension, palpable.
He probably has to drop it in. Normally stick it over, but the 8 minutes are up. But there was another little stoppage after that, so there could be another minute. I don't know if he checked with the ref.
Joe Canning. Will he drop it in? Will he put it over the bar? Here he comes. He's going for it. And that is sailing between the posts again. A goal and 10 points he scored in this All-Ireland final. 1 point between the teams. It's now up to the referee. We've gone past the 8 minute. Is this the moment? Is the 45-year wait over? Is it Limerick's day? Is there more left? Can Galway get an equaliser? Great catch, the most important slither he possibly will ever catch. But the Galway could still regain it. They have it, they're bursting forward, still bursting forward, and there's a free, dead straight in front of the Galway dugout, and there's an opportunity for Joe Canning to level the match.
And this is definitely it now. There was 8 minutes, and people, the Limerick crowd, are going to be questioning James Owens for playing 40-45 seconds, but there was another injury after that. During that, the injury time, and so he's entitled to add on another bit of time. I think was it Richie English went off in that period, and he was down injured for 30 seconds before that. So
this is surely the biggest free he's ever taken in his career. It's up to Joe.
And even for him, it's on the edge of the distance that he can strike it.
Here it comes. The slither is flying in. It's dropping inside the large rectangle. Limerick have it. They come forward. The referee blows the full-time whistle. Limerick are the All-Ireland champions 2018. Galway have been stopped at the very end, right at the wire. The banks of the Shannon are overflowing. Dolores O'Riordan of the Cranberries, one of my favourite artists, wherever you are now, you must be smiling. Your county has produced one of the sensational championship journeys of all time.
Oh, Marty, the way they won it, they were 8 or 9 up. They looked like they were cruising home, and maybe in time they'll reflect on what a way to win it. But what a win for Limerick. 45 years without it. Their fifth final since, and it's just incredible to see the scenes around us here in the stand, to see Dave Punch and all the Limerick people, what it means to them. It's just incredible. And what a game, what a second half. It didn't disappoint. A championship for all championships, maybe one of the greatest hurling championships ever. And it's fitting to see Limerick, Waterford, the only team out there now, haven't won in All Ireland, but a brilliant performance. And well done to Limerick.
Well done to John Kiley. Full time in Croke Park on All Ireland hurling final day. There's the scoreline. Limerick 3 goals, 16 points. Galway 218. Limerick are the All Ireland champions. An amazing championship performance, pulsating all the way, Michael Dignan.
It was, Marty, and look, what a game. As I said, the second half Limerick took over. Kyle Hayes in particular, centre forward, outstanding, and then Mulcahy with the goals.
Let's go down to the sideline, because I'm sure they're already singing Limerick You're a Lady. Tom Morrissey is with our Clare.
Tom Morrissey, congratulations, 45 years. It's over, finally.
Yeah, I suppose, look, you see what it means to the supporters. You saw what it means to us. I say they're probably getting kind of similar to the Kilkenny game. They probably thought it wasn't meant to be when Galway were clawing it back, like we were 8 points up, and fair juice to them. They said, as true champions as they are, they stay battling right to the end, and they did give us, they gave us an awful scare. I'd be lying if we didn't say that, but we just had the mental strength to I suppose, stay going right to the end. I think 78 minutes today, I tell you, our bodies are in bits, but it's definitely worth it.
What did it take to survive those 8 extra minutes of added time and 2 Galway goals?
Yeah, I suppose we were kind of expecting the 8 minutes. Like, there was a lot of stoppages in the second half. It still doesn't make it any easier when you see it going up on the board. I think when I saw it go up, it was just about keep going. I think a few of us were starting to cramp and the bodies were starting to give up, but the minds kept going, and that's the important thing, and it got us over the line.
Can you sum up how it feels after this long, long wait?
I won't say unbelievable, because I had full belief that we would win today, but it's fairly close to it, I'll tell you that much.
You did it with your brother out there too, Dan.
Yeah, look, it's my first time ever winning anything with Dan, so it's a special moment for the two of us. So one to savour, one for us, and one for the family and the club of Ahan. We're going to enjoy this one.
And what an extraordinary summer to win it in. You've beaten all the best.
Sorry, I never heard that.
You've beaten all the best teams.
Yeah, I know, like, that's it coming in. Like, I suppose this is a new format.
Well, I'm sure they enjoyed that interview, the Limerick people here at Croke Park, and why wouldn't they? Heartiest congratulations to Limerick. And you can see the joy on the faces of the players, the team management, and of course those people there, the fans who have followed this team through this incredible season. We get a word from the panel, and I suppose we should start with Ger Loughnane, a neighbour down there by the Shannon. And in actual fact, Ger, towards the end of the match, I could hear you egging Limerick on and to go and get it. Go and get this title.
All those players there, John Kelly, they're all exhausted. But heartiest congratulations to John, all those magnificent players, but above all to all Limerick people at home and across the world. This was a day of days for them that have waited 45 years for it. And the way they achieved it couldn't be any other way with the way the year went.
Exactly.
Every game seemed to end on a knife edge.
Jeez, I thought we had another draw.
Exactly. And Limerick, with Limerick being Limerick, couldn't have done anything else. And we were all afraid there with the last few minutes there were shades of 94 again. But miraculously and brilliantly, they held out. Graham Mulcahy's point, I think, was the one there at the end that really sealed it for them. But heroic performance for them. But have to hand it to Galway. They played like real champions.
Hear from the Limerick manager, John Kiley.
John Kiley, congratulations. We saw you there with some of the supporters, with your family and friends. The emotion and the joy and the relief.
Yeah, huge relief. This group has phenomenal belief in its own abilities, its own resolve, and I suppose that never say die attitude, you know. We've worked so hard, and Galway pushed us all the way in that last 10-15 minutes. And it was really difficult on the lads to just hold their nerve and try and find those last couple of vital scores, but they did. I'm just thrilled for the lads. I'm thrilled for all of Limerick. We felt over the last 45 years like we were second-class citizens when it came to hurling. We were always the bridesmaids. And today we got over the line. I'm just so happy for everybody here in this stadium and at home in Limerick. That's it.
You can just see what it means to everyone, John. What made this team champions?
They just don't know what it is to give up. You know, they keep going and never say die. And, you know, it was really difficult there in the last few minutes and they still found a way to do it. And I suppose there's no substitute for hard work. That's the bottom line.
How hard was it to live through those closing moments?
Horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. But is that what you have to do to get what we have now? We'll take it.
Congratulations, John. Enjoy.
Thank you very much indeed.
Well, I'm sure it must have been difficult down on the sideline for the winning manager in those last few minutes. Liam Sheedy, you know all about that and that feeling, obviously.
Yeah, you know, and isn't this what makes the game of hurling just incomparable to anything else? You know, at 8 points up, we were sitting there thinking, right, Limerick have enough done. And within a few minutes, they start to get a run in them and they start to peg it back. And myself and Jerry were sitting outside with Henry, we were saying, if they actually give this one up again, they'll never forgive themselves because they were the much better team on the day. They really did play the better hurling. They had outstanding leaders all over the pitch. They came up here on their first day in here in 11 years and ranked up 3 goals and 16 points. They deserve great credit and they are deserving winners. And definitely for John Kiley, he deserves huge credit for what he's done with that team over the course of this year. The resolve that they've shown to be All-Ireland champions this evening, and isn't that the magic of sport? 45 years of waiting. It'll be a very short run into Christmas in Limerick this year, that's for sure.
And I suppose it is fitting that to make a presentation to Limerick on this special year, we have the new president of the GAA, John Horan, who is talking to the crowd.
August I'm currently McCarthy of Brona, our captain Limney, Declan O'Hannon.
There it is, the moment that Limerick have been waiting for. 1936 Mick Mackey, 1940 Mick Mackey, 1973 Eamon Grimes, 2018 Declan Hannon. Limerick All-Ireland champions for the 8th time in their history. Tears of joy, smiles all the way. Banks of the Shannon are overflowing. There will be no work done in the county or city of Limerick for at least a week. And forget about Las Vegas, Paris, or indeed Ibiza. The place to be from now until Christmas is Limerick.
Ultron coming out as well. Winter the Galway, winter the Limerick. Tana Hassan, a Corlean Vic Hark, a Glocka, a Sanfilin. To all the past Limerick management, Limerick players, here the guys that drove us and inspired us when we were young lads looking up to all of you. So hope that all you here today are enjoying this as much as we are, and are going to enjoy the next 2 days as much as we are. To the 36-man panel of players here of the Limerick Senior Hurling Team of 2018, when you ask for honesty, dedication, commitment, loyalty, they have it in absolute spades, they do. And I think they showed it throughout the year. From the 30th of December in Mallow until the 19th of August in Croke Park today. They've constantly shown them on the training field, on the match day field. And lads, from the bottom of my heart, I'm just so proud of you. And you can be very, very proud of yourselves. To our management team, our hurling coach, Paul Kinnock. I don't know what I can say about Paul, he's just every last detail he has it covered. So Paul, the amount of things that you've taught us over the last 2 years, it's unbelievable. So thank you very much. Our strength and conditioning coach, Joe O'Connor. He put us through our paces for the last number of years, but by God, I was in some shape. So Joe, thanks a million. You can take a break from the WhatsApp now. Jimmy Quilty, Alan Cunningham, and Brian Geary. The amount of hours that these guys put in off the field is second to none. and to have them on the sideline, to have a quiet word with you if you're feeling down or anything like that. Unbelievable, lads. Thanks very much.
Thanks a million.
Our medical team, I suppose this year's the new format of the championship was going to be tough on bodies. I think it's testament to our medical staff that they had us on the training field and on the field of play every single night. So they're Dr. James Ryan, physios Mark Van Drum and Mark Melbourne, and our masseur Adrian Kearns. Thanks very much, lads. To our logistics team, Conor McCarthy and Eamon O'Neill, the amount of time that they also put in getting buses organised, trains organised, hotels, they're unbelievable. It's 24/7 with them. So lads, thanks a million. To our kit man, he's been with Limerick for many, many years and soldiers through good days and bad. From Palace Green, Ger O'Connell. Our team performance coach, Caroline Currid. What to say about Caroline? She has just been phenomenal with us for the last 2 years. She's always there for us, always there to keep us up and pick us up when we're down. And she's after inheriting 36 new babies, a boy, so she is. Now, to our stats team, Shawnee O'Donnell, Dinny Ahern, Conor Rale, Kieran Hickey, Rory Maher. Again, lads, all behind the scenes work that they do after games and have stats for us the next day, the next morning. It's just phenomenal. So, lads, thank you very much. Our goalkeeping coach, Timmy Houlihan, Hurling Carriers, Kyle McCarthy, Alan Feely, Jimmy Quilty and Conor Hanley. Those guys have been at every single training session throughout the year. So lads, without you we wouldn't be here. I suppose then there's one man who has to gel all of this together. Has to put together a panel of players. Has to put together a management team, a backroom team. Our leader, John Kiley! To our sponsors, JP McManus and Noreen and the McManus family. Lads, what can we say about them for Limerick City and Limerick County in general and for the Limerick GAA? They're just phenomenal. The amount of work that JP does and contributes to Limerick is second to none. So JP, for your continued support, thank you very much. To Limerick County Board, our chairman John Cregan, the Secretary Michael Reardon and Treasurer Liam Burke. Lads, all we asked for this year, you gave it to us. We couldn't ask for any more. So thank you, lads. Appreciate everything you've done for us. To all our families, to wives, partners, girlfriends, who have seen the good and bad, I suppose, when we bring training home. And they're there for us every single night and there to pick us up. So for all the love and support you've shown through us and for us for the last number of years, we really, really appreciate it. Griffin coaches to Fit 100, John Bruder and Colin Moran, who didn't ask for a cent of us throughout the year, and we got to use their facilities, which are second to none. So lads, thank you all very much, and we'll look forward to using it again next year. Today's match officials, lads, I thought you did a fabulous job. It's not an easy one, but look, you did it. Very, very well done. To Galway, as the amount of respect I suppose we have for you is just second to none, and the last 10 minutes was a real onslaught, and it just goes to show the characters you have in that team, and I've no doubt that we'll meet you again in the coming years. So 3 cheers for Galway. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. And finally, to all the Limerick supporters here today, to those at home listening in, to those far and wide tuned in on the radio and on television, lads, you're phenomenal. You don't want for anything and you turn out day in, day out for the last number of years. And we can't wait to bring Lee McCarthy home to